everyone. As you can tell that it is Adam Free Time from Stargazing Astrology. We do a monthly, if anybody's been following me, we do like a monthly collaboration where he gives us a reading for the month. And then, of course, he draws two astrology charts from some political figures that we have. And this time we have Judge Cannon. Let's see what her astrology is. And then Nikki Haley and see what her astrology is going to say. But in the meantime, Adam, so what is it that you do on your channel? Welcome. And how do they get a hold of you? And what do you offer for readings?
Okay, so Sheila, thanks so much for having me on again. It's so exciting to do the monthly moon forecast. And hello to all. It's nice to see everyone. So my YouTube page, Adam Stargazing Astrology. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I post periodic new moon and full moon updates. Along, if you look at my community page as well, I also have other collaborations there. So I am currently offering discounted astrological readings. For those of you that may be at any sort of crossroads in any area of your life, or if you're interested in getting a natal chart, which is also called a birth chart, for yourself or someone else, I offer that. I also offer composite charts. So those are relationship compatibility charts. If you are starting perhaps a marriage or a business or anything in which you and someone else needs to come together in order to create something. Those are currently discounted. And my email is AdamAstro, that's AdamAstro 777 at gmail.com. And I believe also that information will be in the description box of the video.
Yes. And you just, what they do is they email you and say, hey, I would like to reading. And then you collaborate with them to figure out a time and all that. Is that how that works?
Yeah. So you guys would send me an email and I would send you a price list and information on the types of readings. And then if you're interested, then we set up an appointment.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So today we're doing, what did you call it? The moon chart?
Yeah. So we're going to be doing the full moon forecast for today.
Full moon forecast. You see, that's the thing about always buddying up with astrologers, because astrology is like blah 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 with me. I mean, I know what a Pisces is supposed to do or what a Gemini is supposed to do, but I tell you, I get into those charts and I go, what is going on?
Yeah.
So we definitely need readers for that.
It's definitely astrology. It's definitely its own language for sure. It's very exacting, very precise. You can't just sort of look at a chart and be like, you can't really wing it, that type of thing. You either know it or you don't.
No, and I'm always trying to put some intuitiveness into it. Like that line right there kind of feels like, and I'm like, that's
Okay.
how it goes.
Well, the intuition actually really comes into play once you really know how to read the chart.
Oh, okay. So that not before, after learning.
Exactly.
Yeah, that could be the problem I'm having.
Yes. So Sheila, you have a really strong intuition. Yeah, if you could, maybe sit down, learn to read the charts if it was something that you were feeling compelled to do, right? And
Well,
then use that intuition after, you would be excellent.
well, I've tried. I mean, I have given it an old college try to
Mm-hmm.
sit down and read and learn. I mean, I've gotten books and this, that, and the other. And I don't know if it's my severe dyslexia that keeps me from focusing or understanding or even remembering what that planet does in that position and why it's there. I don't know if that's it, because I can't remember. Like, I don't remember what Pluto does again. And I have this, oh yeah,
Yeah,
Pluto does that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I struggle with that type of thing. So I don't know if there's a lot of people out there that do that. I envy those who can look at a chart and know what it says just automatically, like naturally. And there's a few
Uh-huh.
of you out there. There's not a whole lot of you out there. There are a few of you, like you are one of them, that can literally look at that chart and then just kind of read it like you were reading a book, a novel. And
Mm-hmm.
you have that that which word and which impression is it going to be at that time and in that chart. So I really give it to you. I give it to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why, thank you. You know what I've come to discover? It really comes from a foundation of really loving astrology.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really the foundation, and then everything needs to build upon that. So that's what I've learned. And I've been studying now for over 20 years, and sometimes there's still things where I'm like, not quite sure what that is, and so I need to look it up. So I'm still expanding my vocabulary for
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah. Of course. Well, I have that in tarot cards too. I'll
Mm-hmm.
see something or I feel something. I'm like, wow, what is that? And I have to go all the way back to the beginning and read maybe what a card means or get some more information about it because I'm feeling some type of way about it and I have never come across it. So we're doing the same thing. And then that's the thing is once you think that you know everything, you're failing.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's all of a sudden something will come challenge it and bring you up to the next step.
Yes, it does. So we're never done learning. That is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to hand it over to you and you can give us that reading for the month, the full moon reading. So,
Okay, so the full moon is occurring this month, February 24th. So it's occurring with the sun transiting through Pisces and the moon transiting through Virgo. So this is called the full moon in the astrological sign of Virgo. So this is the earth water axis. This tends to be more of a yin type of energy, more inward. Um, Pisces is all about spirituality. It's all about emotional refinement. Whereas the opposite, Virgo, is all about physical refinement. Um, so Virgo rules health, service, discrimination, uh, criticism, which can be either positive or negative. Virgo has a tendency to see the trees rather than Pisces, which sees the whole forest. So what we really need to do with this sun moon opposition is strive to strike a balance. And striving to strike a balance is finding what they have in common. So what they have in common, they both have the amazing ability for service. So this is really the access of service. Service when it comes to spiritual service, physical service, mental service. So Virgo and Pisces are both really related to the aspect of health and healing. Pisces really relates to the aspect of emotional release and spiritual healing, whereas Virgo really relates to the aspect of physical healing. So this full moon is a wonderful time for any sort of therapy, whether it be physical therapy or any type of psychological therapy. Pisces is energetically and emotionally sensitive, whereas Virgo is physically sensitive. Um, this access does much better when the energies are turned within and they're more withdrawn. This is a wonderful access for things like research, for things like meditation and contemplation. It's not a great full moon to go out there and to exhaust your batteries. And the reason why is because with an oppositional aspect, there can sometimes be a teeter-totter effect. Pisces can tend to overdo and overindulge sometimes. So what we need to watch out for this time is that we don't overindulge in activities. And on the flip side, Virgo can be a little austere. We also need to watch out that we're not too overly austere and too overly critical at this time. Pisces, the daydreamer, Virgo, the service and practicality. Right now is also this would also be a wonderful time for like an early spring house cleaning. Because both of those signs are also really related again with the aspect of cleansing. So some of the other aspects we have going on right now, we have what's called a stellium. It's 3 or more planets sitting right next to each other. Each planet is like a unit of concentrated energy. So when we have 3 planets in Pisces sitting together, this is a lot of Pisces energy. The sun sign is sitting right next to the planet Saturn in Pisces. This grounds that Pisces daydreaming energy and brings it form and brings it structure. So this is a more earthy type of aspect. This full moon is more leaning towards that Virgo practicality side, just because the sun sign is sitting next to Saturn, and Saturn is so practical. A Sun Saturn conjunction is a great time for some sort of discipline. Some sort of discipline in relation to the arts. And the reason why I say the arts is because Pisces has a lot of talent in the arts, a lot of natural talent. Things like painting, sculpting, photography, music, dance. Those all really fall well under the realm of that Pisces energy. Mercury is also going to be in Pisces as well. Mercury isn't it's not the most vital aspect in Pisces, but it's great for things like poetry and kind words. Pisces tends to be a sign that's strongly linked with kindness. We can always use more kindness in our life and in the lives of others. So there's a couple of steamy aspects going on as well. So Venus is sitting right next to Mars. Venus is the aspect of relationship and also rules our value systems. It's going to be sitting next to Mars. Mars is passionate. So a Venus-Mars conjunction tends more towards a passion. These are going to be falling in the astrological sign of Capricorn, which is an earth sign, which again is adding to that earthy energy as far as the moon being in the earth sign as well. There's going to be a wide conjunction. So Mars is going to be sitting within proximity to Pluto. This is intense energy. It's much more combustible. So we need to watch for energy reserves, that we're not exhausting our own energy batteries, and that we're not caught up in any sort of power plays. Pluto represents power. The energy of Mars is very masculine. So we need to watch out when those planets are in proximity towards one another, that we're not, again, caught up in those power dynamics. So there's a couple of square aspects to Jupiter. Squares are dynamic. Squares create a lot of tension. They can create a lot of change, but they're not always comfortable, and they tend to be out of balance. So these squares are having to do with the planet Jupiter. So whenever we see Jupiter in a square, there's a tendency to overestimate capabilities. There can be a tendency towards strong enthusiasm, which is great, but it might not. Our plans might not always be realistic, and they may fall short. These aspects also bring a lot of strength and a lot of courage too, on the positive side. So this Jupiter square aspects are unlike a lot of this earth and water energy. We're seeing the earth and water energy is more yin. A Jupiter square aspect tends to be more yang. So again, it's finding the balance between those two. The North Node, which is our evolutionary direction of progression, that's in Aries. Aries is a fire sign. It's the first astrological sign of the zodiac. So the North Node in Aries, it's all about independence. It's all about enthusiasm. It's all about strength and vitality, and diving in sort of head first, and thinking of the consequences later. So those of you who are really reliant on partnerships and other people to get things done, that's great. But during a North Node in Aries, that could feel perhaps somewhat stagnant, right? And if there's something you want to do as far as jumping forward, right? If it comes to maybe taking a trip somewhere, or if it comes to setting up a business or something like that, a North Node in Aries is a wonderful time to do that, because of that pioneering type of energy. So the North Node stays in each sign approximately a year and a half. So we still have the North Node in Aries. It's going to be going on for at least another good bit of time. The last aspect we have is considered a fluid, harmonious aspect. It's the moon, which is going to be in Virgo. It's in a harmonious aspect to Jupiter. This is great for inspiration and encouragement, great for creativity. Trines help balance and even out the energy. They help balance out the oppositional energy between the sun and the moon. So that's really good. So overall, this full moon does not bring a ton of aspects. I would say it's one of the more quieter full moons, which is great. So yeah, I would definitely say overall a great time for rest and reflection if that's what you need. Back to you, Sheila.
I'm here. That sounds great. I mean, my daughter's Pisces, so actually, my grandson just turned 10 on the 10th on his golden birthday, and then my daughter is on March 15th. So I have that
Wow.
total energy in my home right now of the Pisces and the Aquarian, and I'm noticing that kind of stuff going on, and it's just something that my daughter, who is a Pisces, she just gets so excited about her birthday. Me, I totally forget until somebody reminds me. Like, isn't your birthday in the month? Oh yeah, it's in June, right? And but with her, she gets really excited about her son's birthday. She gets really excited about her birthday, and I think that's the energy you're kind of talking about, where it's like that excitement, that renewal, that love of life, and stuff is coming through. So that's pretty good. All right.
Mhm.
So what my job is now is to give a little reading for the future with that you have. And I got my situationals out. So let's see what this month's reading has to correlate or to coincide, I guess, with what you just did. Oh, look at that. Love affair.
Ooh.
Well, of course, we have Valentine's Day in the middle of all of this as well, right?
Mhm.
Then we have searching, going searching for a new beginning, searching for things, a cleansing. So definitely cleanse out, renew, find new beginnings, find a new thing, and then we get back to a more childlike atmosphere in your life, having fun, going through and giving that playful, youthful atmosphere in your home and in the future, especially right now. So yeah, very cool. All right. So what we have next is, who are you going to do first? Canon or Nikki Haley?
I'll do canon.
You do Canon? All right.
Yeah.
So hang in there, everyone. We're going to come back with Canon.
I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands above my head.
All right. So before we get into, you said Canon, correct? You're going to do Canon first?
Yes.
Yeah. Before we do that, do you have any future collaborations that you would like to announce?
Yeah. So this Friday coming up, I believe is going to be the 16th. I have a collaboration with Melissa Free Range Psychic.
Yes, definitely go watch all of his other collaborations with other readers. I sometimes catch them. I'm like, oh, look at Adam's over there, and it's so
There he is.
encouraged. Yeah, yeah, I so encourage it. It always just tickles my heart to know that you're joining the community and you're
Aw,
utilizing the community like it should be to share and get that there. So,
thank
all right,
you.
I am going to turn it over to you for Judge Cannon.
Okay. So Judge Eileen Cannon, what I found really interesting is she was actually born in Colombia. She was born in Cali, Colombia, February 1st, 1981. So she is an Aquarius with a moon in Capricorn. So this is one of the quintessential aspects of someone involved in either politics or someone that's a judge, something like that. Aquarius and Capricorn tend towards the social and political spectrum. Aquarius is very group oriented. Capricorn is very law oriented. So this is just a total fit for her Sun Moon combination. So Aquarius is ruled by Saturn as well and Uranus. So Saturn represents the law. It's also strongly linked with the Devil card. So Capricorn on a bad day is really can be really materialistic and very much a mountain climber. But on a good day, Capricorn can be very hardworking and very fair as well. Um, what's interesting is her associations with Trump have more to do with the Devil card. because the devil card on has a lot to do with materialism, and we see Trump has a lot to do with materialism. Also, too, Capricorn really has to do with the old school patriarchy, and the old school structures representing Pluto and Capricorn that are being outdated as Pluto has now moved into Aquarius. But we all need to remember is because Pluto is a generational aspect, it moves a lot slower. So we're slowly seeing the shift the next couple of years of the old school patriarchy being thrown out, but it goes out with a bang, and it goes out the energy goes out very nasty because Pluto is all about transformation and it's all about purge. So we're still in the aspect of purge and transformation with, in association with Capricorn, with the Devil card, and with Pluto in Capricorn. So that being said, Judge Eileen Cannon is definitely, sort of a poster individual for that old school Capricorn energy. So what she has here is she has some afflicted Mars aspects. I see afflicted Mars aspects in the majority of the astrological charts in which there are women that are associated with Trump or that are associated with the Republicans. It's so interesting. It's just what I see. So Mars has to do with ego. Mars has to do with our energy. And those individuals with an afflicted Mars, you're for sure to see that there's going to be a lot of trauma and a lot of controversy that's always surrounding them. They're going to be in the limelight, but it's not necessarily for something good. These women are strong fighters. They have a lot of masculine energy, but a lot of times they work, they're working for like the wrong side, so to speak. And their ego, as represented by their sun sign and an afflicted Mars, tends to end up giving them a bad rap. And so on one side, they gain popularity, but it's for like the wrong reasons. So they end up, kind of cornering themselves. So she has Mars squared Uranus. Her Uranus is in the 7th house. The 7th house is all about relationships. Uranus is unpredictable. There are gains and there are losses here. So with that Uranian energy, she could gain a little bit, but she has the potential for a major amount of losses if she can't, if she can't balance out this energy, and if she's too much in it for her own ego gratification. She also has a Mercury conjunct Mars. Mercury's communication, when it's sitting next to Mars, this is rash and impulsive on decisions. This is definitely an aspect of someone putting their foot in their own mouth and furthering their own demise. So what I'm just saying here with these Mars aspects is that she's kind of like a Sarah Palin type as far as being a flash in the pan. She's not going to be in the limelight for years and years and years because that Mars energy is just not sustainable. She's also in it for the wrong reasons, and she's supporting the wrong type of person. She has a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. Jupiter expands things, Saturn contracts things. This aspect could be someone who is a bit manic depressive around the edges. She might really expand with something, and it might sort of get her to a certain level, but then Saturn's going to come and it's going to say no. So what this aspect is really telling me is that she's only going to get so far with her ideologies, and that there are going to be roadblocks that are going to be put in her way that are really going to end up stopping her from being a total terror. One of her last aspects is she has Pluto, which represents power structures in retrograde. I see this a lot with unevolved individuals who have the desire to have power. The whole aspect around, or the whole ideology around Pluto and retrograde is that in the past, perhaps past lives, perhaps early history in your life, you have been really involved in power dynamics and perhaps abusing those power dynamics. So part of your growth and your evolution is to outgrow power dynamics. and to become more psychological and to go inward and to find your own personal power. She's still in that point where she is very power hungry. And just from a karmically speaking place, if you're extremely power hungry and you have Pluto in retrograde, your demise is going to come a lot faster. So that's my my analysis on her birth chart.
I did enjoy the failure part.
yeah.
I mean, really, it's not about me, and I didn't do anything to her. It's in the stars.
It's in this, it really is. And you know, we just read where I mean, of course we, you know, we want the fairness and equality to win and these people that are fighting against it, but you know, essentially karma will dictate, you know, and the universe will dictate, and
well, I
the
like
bigger
the fact
picture.
that you put her together with Sarah Palin. You know, the
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
I think that really describes who she really is that Sarah Palin, ambitious, thinking that she could do anything, and she's under this delusion that she's, you know, she knows what she's doing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's untouchable. That's the part that it gets us the most, is she thinks she's untouchable. Whatever she wants. So, all right. So the next one up is
wait, so I have some short-term and long-term aspects. Do you want to read on those, or do we just want to jump forward to Nikki Haley?
Are you talking about with Canon some short, let's do short term.
Okay. So some of the short-term aspects, she has some of these Mars aspects. She has a Mars squared Pluto. Whenever you see Mars square, it's gonna bring conflict. And it's gonna bring a lot of drama. So there's just a lot of drama going on now with her. So Pluto's also power. Pluto in a square aspect. There's an imbalance of power going on right now. She's power tripping. She also has a Sun squared aspect, showing that the Sun is also a strong correspondent with the ego as well, and it's a Sun squared aspect to the ascendant. The ascendant has to do with the public image. So this aspect hints that there could be a potential that there's going to be some trouble with her public image.
We can see that.
Yeah.
Definitely we can see that. All right, so let's go into Nikki Haley. So Nikki Haley, I can't wait. Go for it. I can't wait to hear it for Nikki.
Okay. So Nikki Haley, her sun sign is in Capricorn and her moon sign is in Pisces. So just like Judge Eileen Cannon, she has a strong aspect in Capricorn. Cannon had the moon in Capricorn. Haley's got the sun in Capricorn. So as mentioned before, the Capricorn is strongly linked to the devil card, strongly linked to the patriarchy, materialism. So she's playing out, again, the more materialistic aspects of Capricorn. Capricorn can also be the social climber, which we're really seeing with Nikki Haley. And what we're really seeing in here with this aspect is someone who really is in it for themselves and for their own ego gratifications. Her moon sign, which represents her personal self and her emotions, is in Pisces. Now, this is an interesting one because Pisces moon is all over the map. It's the last sign. It's very dual. Pisces, on one hand, can be this loving, spiritual, romantic, creative individual. But on the other hand, a moon in Pisces can also be delusional and lost in their own fantasies. They can build castles in the sky. So her image of herself is really not lined up with reality with this aspect. She also has afflicted Mars, just like Eileen Cannon and just like Sarah Palin. So there's no surprise with that. So her Mars is in Aries. That's a strong Mars. Mars is that masculine energy. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Mars in Aries is good for initiating things, but the burnout happens fast with the Mars in Aries. It's also in harsh aspect a square aspect to her Mercury, which is her communications. Again, this is putting your foot in your own mouth with this aspect. This aspect is not sustainable, very controversial, and someone and an individual that is constantly attracting drama in their life and plays off the drama, and basically plays off being she's really into like the controversy, and she's really into like pushing people's buttons with this aspect. This is I'm seeing, I pick up like, and I don't want to say like a young soul, but that's kind of what I'm seeing with her, like a real immature young individual, very young in very many ways. So her Mercury in Capricorn, it's very traditionally oriented. So she speaks with a lot of tradition. We know that she has strong ideals about things like abortion, right? Which have a lot to do with the patriarchy, a lot to do with the old school structures. So her Mercury in Capricorn also likes to speak with authority. So she really gets off, when she can be in a position of authority. She's mostly going to attract negative attention to her because of these square aspects. So whatever she decides to do, if she decides to do something after this, she will get a bit of a limelight, but it's going to be more negative press as opposed to positive press. Her Saturn and her Pluto are in retrograde. Again, just like Judge Eileen Cannon, that Pluto in retrograde, playing out power dynamics, a lot to do with power struggles. She should be past that, but unfortunately she's still caught up in that power struggle. It's not serving her. Her Saturn is in retrograde as well, showing that she takes her business very seriously. Saturn in retrograde can also be a bit of a perfectionistic when it comes to every single detail. Her North Node, which is her evolutionary direction, is in Aquarius. Her South Node is in Leo. So she's using her South Node, which is her platform of security, which is in Leo, to be center stage. And then her North Node in Aquarius is all about political ideas. Now, Aquarius tends to lean towards the Democratic side. However, because Aquarius rules the realm of politics, you can get left-wing and right-wing politics, and we see she's much more right-wing. She also has a Jupiter square aspect. Jupiter squared Pluto. Pluto represents her power. She's, again, overestimating her capabilities. This is someone who's really power hungry. We see like Bill Gates has these Jupiter Pluto aspects. This is someone who has the ability to accumulate a lot of wealth, but there's generally power tripping behind it, and it's at the expense of and the detriment of other individuals. So we really want her out. There's not a lot of good stuff. Her Mars is opposed to Uranus, showing she's volatile. That's mood swings. That's very up and down. That's a Mars opposed Uranus president would literally press the button for what is it, like a nuclear bomb when they were angry and go oops, and then a month later do it again. And then her Moon square Jupiter, showing that her emotions are larger than life and they get the best of her. So that's my analysis on Nikki Haley.
No, we don't. We definitely don't want her either. However, this is my hope for the whole thing, and we have read on it, and the energy at the time says that she might get the nominee, which will just literally disenfranchise any of the Trump supporters out there. I mean, I can see it right now. She gets it. They're all mad. They're so pissed off. They're not going to vote at all.
Oh.
That's what I see with all of them. But you see, the energy at that time was that she's going to get the nominee. Now, it's so hard sometimes. Do I think that Trump is going to be president again? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. But it's the nominee, that portion of it that I think she is holding on to. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they just already drop out and just give it to the front runner, but she's not. She's staying in there. And that could be her delusion working for herself, working for in that is what she's talking about. But let me read one more time. Will she get the nominee? It's just come around with all of us so much. she will get
Yeah.
money, something happens, something wonky, and
Yeah. According to my short-term aspects, her popularity is reaching a culmination now, and that she's not going to get it.
that she's not going to get it.
Yeah, those are what the aspects show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, something in there. Maybe we were all tapping into the fact that the Queen of Pentacles,
Huh.
lost. The Hierophant, and then the Queen of Pentacles, but I also get lost.
Okay.
That could
Okay.
be literally. I mean, if she doesn't get I don't know. It could be the loss of the presidency. It could be the loss of the nominee.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a lot of people don't believe that she's going to even get close to it. And
Mm-hmm.
I just literally drew cards for the nominee, and I got the Ten of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, success, and strength for her to get the nominee, but the loss in the general Rex. I don't know.
Wow.
It's important somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow she has an incredible amount of importance to this race, and that could be what we're picking up on, is that her importance is there.
Well, and what you're seeing, what you're reading on now really relates to her short-term aspects, because she has Venus conjunct the midheaven. Venus represents sociability and popularity. It's culminating right now at the midheaven, which is the high point in her chart with the short-term aspects. So what I'm seeing now is that her high hate time is like right now.
Yeah.
So that could be, the what you're picking up now with the reading. But I don't, with her aspects, with a lot of these Mars aspects, I see like Sarah Palin and these people, they're flashes. She just doesn't have the sustainability in her chart. She doesn't have the transformation. She doesn't have the.
Sarah Palin also got the nominee for the Republican Party up in
Yeah,
she
yeah.
lost terribly, of course.
Yeah, it's something like that. It would be something like that.
So, and I also think that maybe just possibly, we have no idea, maybe Trump does, and this is just some feelings and some aspects. It's almost like trying to read chaos in the energy of the Republican Party. Now, I take pride in being able to navigate through the chaos without it affecting me. However, it's hard to pinpoint the chaos. Right? It's hard to pinpoint what is going on, because it moves and it's so chaotic.
It's chaos.
However, maybe at some point in time, somehow Trump gets it, then he drops out, then she gets it. You know what I mean? There's so much.
Oh, okay, like surprises.
Yeah, so much left to the unknown because of the chaos of the energy. But anyways,
yeah,
either way, the Republican Party is at its end. I really do believe that. I believe how they have been functioning right here, right now, is coming to an end. Now, whether they pick up the pieces and reinvent themselves, I don't know. But whatever they have been doing, it's not sustainable. Never, ever, 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 ever has an energy like that been sustainable. I mean, look at Hitler. Nothing he did was sustainable either. It happened for a very long time, but it was not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So, so we just gotta also remember that, comfort and joy and love is sustainable. It always has been, and it always will. So
totally.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam, very much. Do you have any last final words?
Thanks for having me on. That was great. And again, those of you, I'm offering the discounted astrological readings. The YouTube page, Adam Stargazing Astrology. My email, adamastro777@gmail.com. My email will be in the description box.
If I remember to put it there.
If she remembers. I'll remind her.
There you go. Or Adam, you can always add it to my comments.
In the comment section. Okay, yeah, I could do that as well.
Yeah, so once I post it up, and it'll be on this, we're taping it on the 13th, but I'm posting this on Valentine's Day tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Sounds like a plan.
Yes, I thought it would be a nice little video for the Valentine's. All right, everyone. Thank you. If you made it this far, thank you so much. And definitely
thanks, everyone.
Subscribe to Adam. It's worth it.
Bye.
Bye.
So check this out. I got something to say about it.
I didn't know till years later that the Bible actually teaches very clearly that we are not, this is in Deuteronomy, we are not to engage in what the Bible calls necromancy, which is the word for communication with the dead, or the Bible calls it familiar spirits. And the reason why is because the dead know not anything, Scripture says. They're in an unconscious state of sleep, waiting for the resurrection. And when human beings think they're communicating with familiar spirits, familial spirits, family members who have died, really what they're experiencing is contact with demonic forces.
So, hold on, let me straighten out here. So that disregards every ancient culture on the planet, because every ancient culture deals with the ancestors. And so when they teach you that, they're cutting you off from the ancestors. And they're replacing your ancestral connection with a connection to their deity. In this way, they siphon your soul power. They use you like a battery, just like in the Matrix. You see, the spirit world was intact with its own laws for 100,000 years before Christianity came along. And just because they believe some dude did something in the spirit world by dying doesn't mean that it actually is true. You could pray so hard and have all of the faith in the world that when you step off that cliff, you're not going to fall. It doesn't matter how much faith you have in Jesus. If you step off that cliff, you're going to fall because there's natural laws. And it's like that in the spirit world also. So if you take everything that man said and flip it backwards, you're supposed to talk to your ancestors. And talking to any made-up invisible deity is what he said it is. Because it doesn't matter what you believe, just like how it doesn't matter if you believe the fire's not going to burn you. If you stick your hand in there, it's going to burn you. When your prayers get answered, it's your ancestors and the spirits of the land that answer your prayers, not Jesus. So what you're supposed to do is actually feast your ancestors, because they like to come and visit in your dreams. And a dream catcher can assist with that communication. I just want you all to know, because I love you, and I don't want you to be cut off from that beautiful power that is in your ancestral line.